Okay. 2 grandmas and a microphone, and number 20. And I kind of put off contacting Vicky this week to do this because there was nothing in my head really that I wanted to talk about. And but now there is. So because this is my niece Julia, who I've blogged about and talked about before, who lives in San Francisco. It was her birthday this week. So I texted her happy birthday, and I'm like, what are you doing for your birthday? And she was out surfing, and then she's going to swim under the Golden Gate Bridge tomorrow, all in a celebration for her birthday. And I said, Julia, you're my constant inspiration and motivator, because she's all about having fun. And she's a very successful business person. She gets in her job, you know, as long as she, I don't know, hits her quota or whatever, they don't care how many hours she works. And so she fills her day with fun. She said, that's the secret. And I'm thinking, if I do something once a week, I'm like really proud of myself, right? So it's also having fun, but it's also looking at deciding that this is what you're doing is fun also, right? And having a good attitude.
Right, well, it depends what's fun for her may not be fun for
like
me.
swimming under the Golden Gate Bridge would not.
I don't know.
You know,
I mean, maybe if I actually let myself do it, it might be fun.
She's swimming in the Pacific in her bikini. I mean, she's amazing. So, and she's surfing, but you know, but she has an amazing attitude. So I thought and I'm seeing this health psychologist, and this week I met with her this week, and the focus is I need to integrate more fun in my life, to figure out what makes me happy and to do more of those things. And it doesn't have to take a lot of time, because what happens to me if I'm like gone for the day and I come home, my house is messy, that's aggravating to me. So I have to keep things in balance so I don't feel overwhelmed that I have to do something when I come home. So last weekend, it was the Monmouth County Fair, and Thomas, I don't know why, my special needs son, well, I do know why. He's at a camp where the counselors were talking about going to the fair. Now, I didn't think the counselors were going to go to the fair, but he's in love with these counselors, so he really wanted to go to the fair this year. So I took him on Sunday, and it was just like, it was so hot. It was so hot, but we just went for a couple hours, and we had the best time. I mean, he went on the rides, and he's laughing, and he didn't want me to go with him on the rides, you know, which was great, because I don't really need to go on rides. But the bumper cars, he wanted to go on the bumper cars, so I thought, oh, I think I want to go on the bumper cars with him. So I get in the car with him, and I put that big heavy thing down. He's like, no, Mom, he didn't want me with him. So I go to get out, and I said to the guy, he doesn't want me with him, but the guy kind of wanted me to go with him. So I didn't know if the guy understood English. It was kind of iffy, but I thought, I'm going to get in and let him drive. And it was the best time, and you know, and then when after we got out, he's like, I'm done. He didn't want to go see the pigs or anything. And I said, well, let's get an ice cream cone. So we got an ice cream cone and just left, and it was perfect.
Nice.
So normally I would just say, I don't want to go. I would find an excuse not to go.
Sure.
And so I just think it's important to find fun things to do. And then yesterday, my friend Barb came over to, I wanted to thin out my plants, and she's gardening. And it was, that to me is fun, out in my garden digging, and it was fun to do it with her. And then I went to her house this morning just to see what she did. And I think that's what I need. I don't like to go out to eat so much, because then I don't really want to be eating half the stuff. And I don't like parties really, but to be doing something active with somebody is fun for me. So I have to.
That's great.
Do you want to go climb a mountain or something?
Absolutely. Just tell me when. I would do it with you. I love to be outside. That's fun.
Yeah.
I always find that my heart is warmed by being outside.
Right.
You know.
And I think it's important to laugh and to have a good time and
laughing, definitely.
Right.
Yeah.
But one other thing, my friend Yvonne, like she'll come to Outdoor Fit and she's like, bacon, egg, and cheese, Mary. So that I love. Like we'll go to the French market, and we're all sweating. We sit outside and have a bacon, egg, and cheese croissant and a cup of coffee. That I love. So
there you go. It's fine tuning for you. What works for you? What's fun for you?
Right.
And it is so individual, isn't it?
Right. And I have to, and Thomas, we have Thomas, and so Dan and I have to make time to do fun things, and we don't so much because then you got to find somebody, it's planning and all of that. So that's what we have to work on too. But we do take a walk every night, so that's nice.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting, the whole idea of fun. So a couple weeks ago, I decided I'm so tired of sitting in the house with the pandemic and everything, and certainly things have opened up a bit. And of course, there's a lot of caution because of the Delta variant and all. But I decided a couple weeks ago, I felt inspired by someone who told me they were playing pickleball. So I just started.
Did you start?
I did.
Because I said I was going to start it, but I haven't started.
Start.
My friend, I'm waiting for her to come back. She's going to show me how to do it.
Oh, I started with a clinic in Colts Neck Racket Club through Brookdale. And so I've had 3 classes, and now I'm going to have 4 more because I re-signed up with them. And it's been fun. It's just great with 4 other women, and I don't know anything. I've never played a racket sport in my life. So when I tell you, I never even watched a racket. I'm like, I have
That's
no
why they
clue.
call it pickleball.
But I'm having fun. And I think at first I was so eager and excited that it made me a little nervous. So I was really not doing too well, I thought. But the next time, like the 3rd time, I decided, let me just take a deep breath before I serve. And I served pretty well, and I did okay. So that's fun. And then last weekend, I decided to do a tango workshop for the weekend, and that was fun for me.
Right.
But it was 8 hours of dancing.
Wow.
I was exhausted on Sunday.
Right.
Yeah. And I've been making sure I get out to do my walks. And I signed up for a class through Brookdale, and not for credit class, on intuition. And that was fun. So
just like one class?
It was yesterday and next week.
Oh.
So that was fun with this whole 16 other women, and we had to wear masks, and we were sitting far apart. But we
I would like to do that. I should pay attention to more of those things.
Well,
that would be interesting.
I just got so tired, but this is what I noticed. I noticed that after being in the house for a year, not doing much else other than maybe a walk, it was hard at first to get myself out there. That's what I noticed. That as much as I wanted to, there was a bit of a resistance or a reluctance. And I thought, I wonder if everybody else is going through this, I don't know if it's about COVID or what it is, or that I just got so used to being alone, So it's interesting how that can happen, I think.
Well, it is so much easier for me to say no to things than to say yes to things.
Is it? Yeah, not for me. Sometimes I change my mind, though. Like there was one night, Monday, I could have practiced tango, but something happened with my daughter, and then that took precedence over me dancing tango. So sometimes I have my family, and that, especially they've been living with me since May, so that has been wonderful in so many ways.
Right.
But it does, it takes up a little bit of my life, and takes my priority. Yeah.
Right.
But now I'm starting to feel more comfortable now that I'm pushing myself out there and I'm doing a few things. It's been good, but I couldn't help but notice. I really had to push myself, Mary. Like you said, it may be easier for you to say no.
Right.
I think it got easier for me to just sit home, truthfully.
Right.
Yeah, it did.
Wow.
So now I feel better about it. Now I feel like, what it was too? I'm so loving this time in my life where I don't have appointments. So there was a little resistance to having appointments, like having to be
I love to have nothing to do in my day, like nothing scheduled. Then that's your day. And nobody's in my house. I'm home alone. That's like the best.
Well, it is, but what I was finding, like some anxiety around, can I do this? Can I get there on time? Can I fit everything in? And feeling almost a little paralyzed with it. So it was an interesting process. Now I don't feel like it. I noticed this week I had several appointments. I didn't feel anxious at all. So all I'm saying is I noticed a transitioning kind of time, and that I had to go with it and fight it almost.
So did you get a brochure in the mail from Brookdale? Or
I looked it up. I got something in an email. And it was perfect. I thought about, somebody told me that they took all these classes, and it inspired me. And that day I got this email from Brookdale. I'm like, okay, I'm going to see what they offer. The same thing happened where I want to have another tango teacher because my tango teacher moved back to Russia. So I said Sunday, all right, I need another regular tango teacher. And on Monday I got an email from somebody who offered lessons. I'm like, all right. So I have a lesson with him next Friday. So I'm incorporating, but I do find it hard to do everything I love and have, that I enjoy, like painting and writing. And when I get focused on one, it's hard to stop.
But that's good too. That's okay.
Mm-hmm. And I definitely love to watch things that are funny, like to laugh. Like laughing is I think, something that's probably not enough. I could use every day laughing. And singing, laughing. They're fun. Yeah.
Wow. you have to be with fun people, and then you laugh.
That too. Oh my God. I always laugh with you, Mary. Always, you know.
Wow.
So I do.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
And the other thing, I went to we live like, the water's right out here, but you live how many miles? 2 miles to the beach or
If
something.
that, yeah.
I live like 5 miles from the beach. I've been to the beach once this summer, and every summer I say I'm going to get to the beach more. But it always seems like such a hassle with the traffic and the this and the that. So my friend Maureen, I said, we got to go to the beach. And she was great. She picked me up. She brought me a chair. I mean, she had everything.
She made it so easy for you.
And then we
right?
parked on the other side of the bridge. We walked over the bridge, and then we went to the beach. She had the pass. I mean, it was so nice to be taken care of. And then the water was a little rough because it was the week of the hurricane. So there was a checkered flag out, and I really wanted to get in the water. And so I go down there to the water, and we're like, ooh, we don't know, because you could see the drop off. And then I thought of my niece Julia, like, what would Julia do? And there was like a lovely lifeguard. I guess she was 18. She could save us. So we dove in. It just like was the best thing ever. So just things like that would be so easy to sit in the chair and not do it. It felt so good to go do it.
So sometimes there's some effort put into having fun.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
We have to at least get ourselves there to a different environment or do something different.
I would have been very disappointed if I hadn't gone in the water.
Yeah.
But that was the last time I went to the beach. I have to try to make it there again.
So we would love to hear what you do for having fun, right? What would be your idea of having fun? And how you may see, especially after this last year, are there any obstacles to having the fun you used to have? You know?
Right.
Yeah.
But now I don't want people to expect me to be doing fun things with them. I got to go slow.
Has to be at your pace, according to you. And that's the other thing, right? Is really us. Yeah. And what works for us may not work for someone else. Yeah. Right. That's true.
And like tango does not sound like fun to me.
I know, but I love dancing. See? Any kind of dancing I love. So, I mean, tango is a challenge. It's not an easy dance.
But they have a Russian tango teacher. That's kind of cool.
He was cool. He's in Russia now. He went back to Russia. Yeah, but he was very spiritual, and I loved our conversations, and it was good. I had, and what I also watched was there was a different teacher on the weekend, and I didn't know him. So it took time to just sort of warm up and get to know this person. That's what I noticed.
Right.
To relax. Because what I find missing in a lot of these things, like whether it be pickleball or tango, is if I don't feel like I have confidence, I just don't do as well. Confidence is like the thing.
Well, how are you going to have confidence if you've never done it before? So you just have to try.
Confident that you can learn and maybe not have those negative voices in our head that may creep up on all of us sometimes. And I'm not, it's more of a confidence. I've been dancing tango for on and off 8 years, so it's not new.
Right.
But it's the kind of dance that I feel like I could always learn more, do better. I always feel like a beginner on some level, even if I'm not. But I feel like that with yoga too. I always kind of have that beginner feeling.
If it's a different teacher.
No, not even teacher, because I do a lot of yoga on my own. But I never feel like I know it all, if that makes sense. Do you know what I mean? I never feel like, okay, I'm done. I'm this expert on this. I never feel an expert on anything,
Well, that's good. So then you're willing to learn.
Always.
Yeah.
Always. Yeah, I feel open to whatever the next thing is. Because even if you know something, in my life I have found, even if I know something, give me a few years and I'll realize, there's more to learn about that. Or maybe I'm going to change my view on that. Or maybe there's an easier way to do this. You know what I mean? There's always something more to learn, I think, in life. Yeah. About anything.
Right.
Yeah. So
I think we're probably good, huh?
I think we're good. Look forward to hearing from you.
Thank you. Thanks for watching.